Hey there, this is Jim Donovan. Welcome to the show. I am glad you're here with me. Today I'd like to tell you a fascinating story that, yet again, illustrates how music is helping scientists unravel the mystery behind Alzheimer's disease. Before we get started, I'd like to invite you to take advantage of a free resource I made for you. It's called the Sound Health Newsletter. In it, I share the latest research in music and health. Plus, you'll learn music and wellness exercises that you can use every day to feel your best. You'll also get discounts and first access to all of my products and events. Remember, it's completely free. Just come visit me at donovanhealth.com to get started today. That's donovanhealth.com. Australian researchers recently witnessed some miraculous cognitive results in a 91-year-old woman, a former hairdresser who we'll call Cynthia. All of her life, Cynthia loved to sing and dance and listen to music. But sadly, following an Alzheimer's diagnosis 9 years ago, she began to lose interest in those activities. She became withdrawn and expressionless. Oftentimes, when her daughter would visit, she would stare blankly out the window and hardly say a thing. Her daughter's heart broke as she watched her mother gradually morph into a shell of her once vibrant self. After her Alzheimer's disease became more severe, Cynthia was moved to an assisted living facility. Caretakers now help her with everyday tasks like eating, bathing, and getting dressed. One day while visiting her mother, Cynthia's daughter turned on the radio. And what happened next shocked her to her core. Cynthia suddenly became animated and began singing along to the music, which, in itself, was remarkable. But what was even more surprising was that the song wasn't an oldie hit from her younger days, as you might imagine. It was a new hit pop song. In other words, there was no way Cynthia would have heard it when her memory was still in working order nearly a decade ago. Somehow, even with severe dementia, Cynthia had managed to learn something new, remember it, and now recall it. Cynthia's daughter knew what was happening was nothing short of a miracle, and so she got in touch with an acquaintance who was a researcher at a university in Sydney, Australia. A team of researchers soon got together to design a study to test whether they could teach Cynthia another new song and shed some light on the inner workings of something called her implicit memory function. Before I talk about the findings, let me back up a little bit and tell you about implicit memory. So, implicit memory is one of the two main types of long-term human memory. It's also known as non-declarative memory. It's unconscious and automatic. In other words, it includes memories you don't purposely try to remember, like studying for a test. Implicit memory is learned and comes naturally, like tying your shoes, humming a song, or making toast. The other type of long-term memory is called explicit memory. It's also known as declarative memory, where you consciously work to remember things so that you can retrieve them later, like who came to dinner last night, or the birth dates of your family members, or even the year a certain event occurred. To gauge Cynthia's implicit memory, researchers played her a 10-line Norwegian children's song that she had never heard before. 24 hours later, they tested her ability to recall the song lyrics and the melody, and then they did it again, and then again 2 weeks later. They found that Cynthia's ability to perceive the pitch and rhythm of music, recognize melody, and recall lyrics was relatively preserved. One day after first listening to the children's song, she could sing along to the recording, and with very little help could even sing it alone. Even 2 weeks later, Cynthia could sing along with the recording and recalled it with very little prompting. Interestingly, without remembering what had happened just 10 minutes earlier, Cynthia sang the song again spontaneously and voluntarily, and repeated a majority of the song's melody accurately. The research team noted that when Cynthia left the session, she sang the melody again completely on her own. This led the researchers to conclude that this reflected genuine memory recall rather than just matching and mimicking the melody. All of these results led researchers to suggest that Cynthia's implicit memory was relatively well preserved. Now, facing the possibility of cognitive decline is downright terrifying. Fortunately, no matter your age, there are science-backed ways that can help you start protecting your brain today, all without pills or expensive therapies. Here are a few of my favorite brain-building techniques that I use on a regular basis. First, listen to one new song every day. As the study showed, letting your brain experience something unfamiliar can get it working in a whole new way. I challenge you to scan the radio or let a music streaming service like Pandora or Spotify introduce you to something novel. Another way I like to challenge my brain is to drum along on your lap to music. Studies have shown the protective brain benefits that come from moving your body and repeating rhythmic patterns to music. I find stories like Cynthia's very encouraging because more and more it seems researchers are realizing that music has the power to help us heal and deeply stimulate our bodies in ways that modern drugs and treatments have yet to do. And fortunately, there appears to be an ever-increasing interest in the scientific community on studying music's effects. Of course, I'll keep you updated on all the latest research on music and brain health. The bottom line here today is that learning new things, especially in music, can challenge and build your brain. And there's no better time to start than now. If you found today's episode useful, please share it with a friend. Share it with all your friends. And remember, it really helps us when you subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. Well, that's it for today. I appreciate you tuning in. Remember to come see us on our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search Jim Donovan Sound Health. Now, before you go, I'd like to let you know about a free resource I made for you. It's called the Sound Health Newsletter. In it, I share the latest research in music and health in an easy-to-understand form. I also share beginner-friendly music and wellness exercises that you can use every day to feel your best. When you sign up, you also get discounts and first access to all of my Sound Health products and events. Remember, it's completely free. If you'd like it, just visit donovanhealth.com and enter your name and email address, and I'll start sending you new issues right away. While you're on the website, you can also read full transcripts of this show and check out a ton of other valuable resources. If you have any feedback, send me an email to feedback@donovanhealth.com. All the information presented on this show is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. Lastly, come and visit me on our Sound Health Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube channels. I'd love to see you there. The Sound Health Podcast is produced by OmniVista Health Learning and Donovan Health Solutions. For Sound Health, this is Jim Donovan. See you next time. Take care.